But you know what the thing is, right? Like, this
Yeah.
is a really nice pink. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's a very thought through pink.
Yeah.
Like, it just looks good.
So, so it looks like I got a pink guitar. So, what what song should I play? It's my first pink guitar. I think I should play something appropriate. You know what? I don't think this works for me. Let's try something else.
We knew the world would not be the same. I remembered the line from the Hindu scripture, the Bhagavad Gita. Vishnu is trying to persuade the prince that he should do his duty, and to impress him takes on his multi-armed form and says, "Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds."
Hi everyone, welcome back to the Ministry of Guitar. I'm Utkarsh. Quick note, if you haven't subscribed, which most of you who watch haven't, please do. It provides me with the encouragement to make these videos. But without further ado, let's just get into this literal beast, this literal monster, the Pink Monster. Now, I want to be very clear. I don't like the color pink that much or at all. I've never, ever, ever had a pink guitar. But sometimes you come across something that is so outrageous, so against a lot of things that you think you like, that you just can't help but really, really like it. And so it was the case with this particular guitar. This is the ESP Custom Snapper 7. Snapper is ESP's 7-string. Snapper is not ESP 7-string. Snapper is ESP's Stratocaster design. Snapper 7 says it's 7-string. Takayoshi Ohmura, which is the signature guitarist, the guitarist whose signature this is. Pink Monster, 15th Anniversary Limited Edition. There's a lot in there. So we're going to unpack it. We're going to go through this guitar. We're going to go through the specs. We're going to go through the history. We're going to go through some sounds other than the intro that you already heard. And I'm going to tell you about why this particular guitar is in a collection that has, I don't know if you can see much behind me, but in a collection where I have things as crazy as some outrageous PRS private stocks, a couple of vintage guitars as well. I think this rises up to the top of the collection. And this particular guitar has, not that I didn't have a positive view of ESP before, but this has even further transformed my view of ESP Custom Shop. So let's get into all of it. Starting off with model history, let's start off with the history of the guitarist itself. It is Takayoshi Ohmura. I know him as the guitarist of a band called Babymetal. If you have not heard of Babymetal, thank me later. But the concept is in a very, very, what should I say, in a very Japanese fashion, something that you wouldn't see outside of Japan. They're combining the very, very cute kawaii, which is cute in Japanese, with the very, very brutal, which is metal. So it started off as basically 3 Japanese schoolgirls, literally schoolgirls, little girls, I think 10, 11 years old, singing on top of crazy metal. And it's not just crazy, noisy metal, it's amazing musicianship. Like all the members of the musicians of Babymetal are at a different level. Check it out, some song, if you want just one song to get started. Karate is a good song, so start over there. But we digress a little bit from the guitarist, which is Ohmura. Ohmura is I think a legendary guitarist in the Japanese scene. And beyond doing stuff with Babymetal, he's done hundreds of other things. So he just is a legend. And he's known for playing a pink snapper, which I'm going to show you. This is his regular model, and the color is called Twinkle Pink. We'll get more into the color and the specs and showing you a little bit more. It is an extraordinary color, I have to tell you. I have never seen anything like this. And this is not the first time I saw this color. I saw it in Japan for the first time, so there's a whole story there. We'll get into it. So Ohmura is, again, I think his guitar is an embodiment a little bit of Babymetal in a way, that it is bright pink, yet it is very, very metal. It is a monster, hence it is the Pink Monster. So he's had the Snapper 7, which has a rosewood fretboard, has a pink body but has a pick guard, maple neck. But for the 15th anniversary, I think, of him being with ESP, I'm not sure what exactly it is 15th anniversary of. Unfortunately, the poster is in Japanese, so I can't really read Japanese. Point is, they came up with this idea, and this thing is just outrageous. It's based on that guitar, but there are a few differences. They've just sprayed the whole thing twinkle pink, front, back, top, bottom, you name it. Fretboard, beyond outrageous. And this color is so bright and so sparkly, even without much lighting, that in any circumstance, you would just notice it, even if it was a small patch on a guitar, let alone the whole guitar is like this. So I just came to my room, it was dark, and I just have to show you how, actually the camera is also not able to capture it. It's not like luminlay, maybe it is luminlay, I don't know. It just shines in the dark, all the sparkles. It's just extraordinary, the effects. Yeah. Just something else, this color. I've had multiple people look at the guitar. In fact, let me show you what happened when my wife first saw this guitar. I'm just gonna put in a clip right over here. Okay, it's out.
It looks like a magician's kit or something.
I've never seen clasps like these ever on a guitar case.
Right?
This is something else.
So which is the right side?
Yeah, it's fine.
Why is this looking that way and the clasps here as well?
Because the guitar, when you display it, you will raise it so the top of the guitar is it's like that. So this is, I think we can guess the color by now. Have you figured out how to open this case? That's going to be the next part of the mystery. Oh wow. Yeah, it's open. Pull it down. I've never seen anything like this before. Okay. Shall we? Are we ready for it? Oh my god, what is this? See, you always wanted a guitar, so I got you one.
Is this my guitar?
You could say that.
Oh, it's got paws of the dogs.
Pink Panther, but
Oh, sorry.
sure. Close enough.
Wow. This is glittery.
It's a very, very. I've never seen anything this glittery in my life.
But you know what the thing is, right? Like, this
Yeah.
is a really nice pink. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's a very thought through pink.
Yeah.
Like, it just looks good.
It does, right?
Yeah.
I saw this. I saw the actual guitar, as in the Ohmura is the person whose guitar it is. He's the guitarist for Babymetal. In Big Boss in Tokyo earlier this year, I saw his actual guitar. It was displayed there, and I was like, "Wow, I've never seen something that looks like this." His actual, he has a Pink Monster as well, the original one. I mean, they built like 6, one for him, and I think 5 more. So it's really
Nice.
something else. I mean, this is a guitar. If you play it, I don't think anyone will not notice the guitar.
That is true.
What's this? Oh, they have a glittery certificate as well. That's interesting. Yeah, this is something else. I mean, I have PRS private stocks, but this really feels even more special, doesn't it? Like, just the
Yeah.
case, the way they open. Private stock case is like opening a regular PRS case. I mean, this, literally like this certificate. Does this open? Oh, it does. Okay, the rest of it is normal. Oh, nice set of springs. Thank you. But yeah.
Yeah. This is quite unique, right?
Yeah,
Like the design and everything.
correct.
Very nice.
Yeah, this is the best of Japanese guitar craftsmanship. This is the ultimate. And I think you can see. I'm going to try playing this in a second.
You know, like at certain angles, you can have this gold.
It's like pink with gold glitter, right?
Yeah, and you know, at certain angles, like it actually looks like a bit of a golden guitar.
Yeah,
So
it
if
does.
you look from this angle, it
Yeah.
actually looks like a golden guitar.
Yeah.
But if you kind of go close and look at from this angle, it looks pink.
You're right, right? Yeah, I don't know if a camera can capture that. You're right. That side it looks golden, right?
Right?
Yeah.
From here, it just looks golden.
Yeah. Wow.
Well done,
This is not a cheap finish. to do for
Ohmura.
sure. ESP and Ohmura.
Yeah.
Yes. All right, we're gonna try playing this.
Yeah, I think this is by far my favorite.
Of all the unboxings so
Yeah.
far, number 1.
Yeah, it's unique. It's definitely unique.
All right, we'll try this out. So yeah, I've never really seen her react to a guitar like that. So yeah, that is what this guitar is a little bit all about. It's just so outrageous. And it's not just the pink, it's also the gold. They've got the gold EMGs, gold knobs, gold, what's this called? Neck. What's that called? Backplate. Neck plate, sorry. Gold tuners. Everything is just out of this world. And it is like you turn up the dial to 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And normally you would think something like this doesn't work, but it just does. Let's get a little bit into the specs of the guitar. And then I'm going to show you some tone samples beyond what I've already shown you with the intro. And I'll give you my final thoughts on this guitar. So, specs-wise, it's a Strat. It's got an alder body. It's got a maple fretboard and a maple neck. The interesting thing about this guitar is, though it's a 7-string, it's a very thin nut width compared to regular 7-string. I would say it's even slightly thinner than the PRS nut width, which is not very thick for a 7-string. And if you're used to playing something like a Music Man, this feels a little bit thinner. This definitely feels thinner. I'm talking about width here. I'm not talking about the depth of the neck, width, fretboard width. It feels it's one of the thinnest I've played. So the consequence of it is it's very, very easy to play even for a 6-string player. The other things are top notch. It has EMGs. I am forgetting which version. I'm going to show it up right now. They sound like EMGs in a typical way, which I really like. Gold knobs. I believe this is a Goto bridge. It's a tremolo bridge, but the way Ohmura likes it and the way this guitar comes set up is that this bridge is essentially flush to the body. So that's how it's come set up. Then what else? One interesting thing are the inlays. So Ohmura, in his own fashion, and this is a pretty interesting guy. I would link to a video here. He does all sorts of stuff to get the tone he wants, including putting coins and whatnot on the headstock. And I would scoff at that, but I can't, because he knows much, much, much more, and he's a much better guitarist than I am, and he's played live for years and years. So what do I know? He knows better. So if he's saying that putting the coins on the headstock is doing something for him, I believe him. But anyways, going back to his quirky character, he has got these Pink Panther inlays all the way till the 9th fret. Then it gets normal. On his regular snapper, there are scalloped higher frets. He doesn't do scalloped higher frets on this one. He mentioned in the video that, because of the color and this amazing finish, it was just very complex and just it didn't suit the finish. Let's put it this way. It looks much better right now, flat. I don't mind it at all. I'm not a big fan of scalloped frets. Thickness of the neck. I would say it feels, for me, it's kind of ironic thing to say, it's about as thick as a 59 neck, but of course slightly wider. If you're used to a 59 neck, it's not very difficult actually. Goto tuners. What else? You've got Ohmura's insignia at the back saying 15th anniversary ESP signature series. You've got the cavity compartment for the battery. The back is also pretty stunning. Yeah, all in all, it's just a very impressive instrument, and it's not very heavy. Maximum, and remember, it's a 7-string guitar. It's a bigger guitar. Maybe 8.5, 9 pounds. Not very heavy. Let's get into some sound samples. I'm going to show you both clean, not both, but clean, low gain, higher gain, just outside of context, and you already heard it in the mix. So we're going to start off with some clean tones. If you notice, this is a typical EMG sound. If you've heard any early Metallica, or a lot of other metal bands, you hear the sound all the time. That was a neck, moving to middle. Just a volume reduction, and one thing I want you to keep an eye out for. When we move to bridge, you'll see that the volume doesn't go up too dramatically, so it's a very balanced sound. Okay, at the bridge now. See what I mean about the volume? And also this is that typical early Metallica kind of a sound. Something like one. EMGs have a certain... This is probably the weakness of the EMG, low gain. Not very dynamic, a little compressed. This is where EMGs don't do that great. Now the bridge. High gain rhythm on the bridge. This is the EMG wheelhouse. Yeah, perfect. Now we'll try some leads, kind of liquid lead, high gain lead. Perfect for EMGs. Neck pickup. Yeah. Perfection. Middle position. Still nice. Bridge position. And there we go. Let's try something. So it sounds like a typical not ESP, EMG, but the thing that I have to tell you is that it is a very resonant guitar despite the thick layers of paint, which is very interesting. I expected this to be quite dead because, not that this is a good analogy, but if you play cheaper guitars, they feel very plasticky. And the reason they feel plasticky is that they have a thick layer of whatever, cheap poly or whatever. So one big difference if you play an expensive guitar and a cheap guitar is the cheap guitar feels plasticky. It's a certain feel. Then there are other things about the fretwork, etc. But this guitar, despite having all this paint, does not feel plasticky. It feels, and this is not a nitro. This is a poly, if I understand correctly, ESP's own poly. But it just feels great. It feels very expensive. I did not mention the fretwork, but I should mention it. It is perfect. It is at PRS levels of perfection, which is the highest standard there is. There is no higher standard. So yeah, overall it just feels very expensive and very nice. And there's some guitars that just feel right the moment you just pick it up and you just play anything on it. It just feels right, and it's just so easy to play. The action is just so low. And Ohmura is both a shredder as well as a rhythm player, so I can see how he can play this really, really well. The biggest thing you need to know is this thing is rarer than anything you can think of. I believe there were less than 10 of these made. I have seen the original, which is Ohmura's own Pink Monster. So the story is that I was in Japan last year. I was in Japan multiple times. I used to work in Japan, but specifically I was there last year. Was it last year now? I'm getting confused on the timeline now. Yes, it was last year, 2023. April, I think. And I went to Big Boss in Ochanomizu. Ochanomizu is this guitar street. I went to the ESP workshop to check if they had a snapper because I was feeling like buying the Ohmura snapper. They didn't have one in stock or something. Then I was just roaming around the street. I went to Big Boss, and there was a Pink Monster and a regular Ohmura snapper all displayed proudly. And I was like, wow, okay, great, I'm in luck. I went to the shop and I beckoned, I was interested in trying out a guitar. He looked at me strangely. And then he communicated across me very politely, of course, as everybody does in Japan, that, that's actually Ohmura's guitar, that he's just displaying it here while he's not on tour, he's just in town. So that's his actual guitar. So this is actually Ohmura's actual Pink Monster, and his actual stage guitars just displayed over there. Obviously, they were not for sale. But yeah, and my journey with the twinkle pink colors, I saw it for the first time about 3 years ago in real life when I bought 2 years ago when I bought the other Babymetal guitar, which is the Raiden 8, which is another crazy guitar, which we should talk about at a different point in time. And I was just stunned by the color. I do not like pink. It's not my color, but there's something irresistible about the contrast of a heavy metal, crazy, virtuosic guitar in that most, based on whatever cultural norms, that is not the color that you would expect on that kind of a guitar. So it just works because it just clashes so much. So, of course, I could not get the Pink Monster then, but luckily on Reverb, I was able to find it from a wonderful gentleman who sent it across to me. But these are super duper rare. These were about 10,000 US new. What their value is now, it's difficult to say. But the rarity and the impact of Babymetal, it's safe to say that this is not a bad guitar to hang on to. Let's just say that. Okay, I hope this was fun. And till next time.